Hello, YouTube community. It's Robert S., and welcome back to RobScure Music. In today's video, I want to share with you the items that I picked up for Record Store Day, April 20th, 2024, and after Record Store Day. So the items that I picked up on Record Store Day, we'll start with those, and we'll start with the members of my favorite group ever, the Beatles. And we'll start with my favorite Beatle, John Lennon. This is his Mind Games EP. Mind Games was an album that was released in 1973. And so this is sort of a late 50th anniversary edition. Mind Games will be coming out, the album proper will be coming out later in the year, I understand. This is the Record Store Day Collector's Edition. This is a glow-in-the-dark version. There's also a plain black version, but I opted to get this EP with the glow-in-the-dark. The EP contains 4 songs. 3 of them were from the Mind Games album. It starts off with Mind Games, the Ultimate Mix. Then I'm the Greatest, which is a song that John wrote, and Ringo, I guess he gave that to Ringo to perform on the Ringo album, 1973 album, which is a fantastic and truly amazing album. If you have never heard the Ringo album, take a listen. This on side B has Asumi-san, which is I'm Sorry in Japanese, and You Are Here, outtake take 5. So this comes on, as I said, glow-in-the-dark vinyl. We'll take a look at that. Show you the label. Now I'm just opening these for the first time. I took the liberty of opening all of these so that it'd be easier on the video. But it's a glow-in-the-dark record, and of course you'd have to, I guess, hold it up to a light source to make it glow in the dark, and perhaps I'll have an opportunity to show you how that looks in the dark. But very cool. So next we're going to go with another member of the Beatles, and that is George Harrison. This is Wonderwall Music, and this is one of 2 albums that George Harrison has for Record Store Day this year, the other one being Electronic Sounds. I happen to I know both albums. I'm not a fan of Electronic Sounds. I thought about picking it up, but just decided it was just not worth it. The reason I hesitated was because that album, much like this one, is sort of a picture disc, but it's a zoetrope. So this does really cool things when it's spinning on a turntable. Hopefully I'll get a chance to show you that, but let me show you the album. Thankfully, it's in this clear vinyl sleeve so that I can show it to you without taking it out completely. That's one side, and this is the other. And like I said, it looks really cool when it's spinning on a turntable. And the other thing about this Wonderwall album is that because there are a limited number of them, each one has a number. And I'll show you, where is it? My number is 4201, 4201. And inside of here, actually, as I'm looking at it, is this little poster. Let me open this up. So, very nice. Next, we have another record store day item from a Beatle or former Beatle, and that's Ringo Starr, Crooked Boy. And Ringo announced that he was not going to be issuing any more albums. So what he's been doing lately is issuing EPs, extended plays. They typically have, an EP will typically have 4, 5, I think maybe even sometimes 6, depending on the length of the songs. But in this particular case, this one has 4 songs. The first single, or the single released from this, is February Sky. I liked the song as soon as I heard it. It's a song written by Linda Perry of Four Non Blondes. She's written a song on another one of Ringo's EPs. She writes all of the songs, actually, or co-writes, I'm not sure, the songs on this particular album. She also produced this album. And this is an exclusive on black and white marbled vinyl. So let's take a look at that. Inside we've got the lyrics, and I suppose some quick credits here. Yes, some credits. And again, this is a marbled vinyl, and look at that, it looks really nice. Or at least half of it looks really nice. It's sort of like, yes, that looks marbled. No, that half doesn't, actually. And it's pretty much the same on the second side. Lots of marbling up at the top here, but not so much over there. So, but I've seen people who have this, and it has more of a marbled look. It's almost black, white, and sort of a grayish look to it because of the marbling. And then I've seen some that are almost black that look like bird droppings on it or something. And actually, it kind of looks this way here as well. But it's different. I kind of like it. And I think it's unique that almost half of this album, the side is black and the other is marble. So that's a little bit different, I suppose. Maybe it's a crooked album for Crooked Boy EP. And then on Record Store Day, there was a gentleman 3 people ahead of me, a guy named Mike, who I met at last year's Record Store Day event. And he has something he does on Instagram where he plays records or snippets of songs that he's listening to. He shows the vinyl on the spinning on the turntable and the record in the background. It's called Now Spinning. Check him out on Instagram. But Mike had said that one of the things he was interested in, I can't remember if he said he was on the fence. I think he was on the fence on this particular one. And I was also on the fence. Well, he got into the record store first because the way Infinity Records works is they only allow like 2 people in at a time, and then when they're done, they let 2 more in. So it's controlled, sort of, rather than everyone running amok in the store, he controls the crowd a little bit. But anyway, so Mike went in, he got the last copy, and maybe there was only 1 copy, I don't know. But when I got there, they didn't have it. Well, it turns out Mike was picking up a number of other albums and decided that he would try to get this elsewhere. So he asked me if I wanted it, and I really appreciate that. So thank you, Mike, if you're watching this. I got Jim Croce Live, the final tour. Very happy to have this. This is a limited edition on translucent blue vinyl. Oh, that's nice. I'm not sure it comes across too well on here, but it's I'm not sure if it's translucent, but you can certainly see light through it. So, very nice. And again, thank you, Mike. And then while I was at the record store, and what I did actually is I had made up a list of things I wanted at the record store. And of course, I forgot to bring it with me, but it wasn't that much. And I remembered about 5 items that I wanted. So when I went into the record store, I didn't look through all of the albums. I went to the sections where I wanted to find, for example, H for George Harrison and L for John Lennon and so on. But one of the records that was standing right out in front of the K section was a record store item from last year that I did not pick up. And there it was, just one copy, sealed and discounted. The Knack, live at the House of Blues. This is a performance on September 25th, 2001. It's a 2-album set. And this is on baby blue vinyl. So let's take a look at this. Okay, nice light blue color. The translucent was a little bit different, almost more of a greenish or teal type of color. This is certainly a light blue. It's very nice. And like I said, the other disc is the same, so I won't bother taking both of them out. So that's what I picked up at one record store on record store day. Unfortunately, I had plans. There were things I needed to get done. I couldn't spend a lot of time looking for the records. I couldn't spend time going to different stores. So unfortunately, because I forgot my list and I forgot all about the fact that this artist was putting out a record store day item, I did not pick it up. And I saw some YouTube posts where people were showing it, and I thought, you moron, how could you have forgotten that? My favorite group ever is the Beatles. My second favorite artist, Elton John. I apologize, Elton. I totally forgot to pick up Caribou. But here it is, Monday, April 22nd. I was able to call a couple stores. I found one that had one last copy. I asked if they'd hold it for me. They said, we can't hold record store day items. So even though it wasn't record store day, they wouldn't hold it. So I said, can I buy it over the phone? And I did. So happy to have this. This is a gatefold. I haven't opened it all the way. I'm not sure if I will. And it has 2 albums. The first, of course, being the studio album that, if you're an Elton John fan, you're familiar with. And the second one actually being an album that it basically compiles other songs that he did around that time, or songs that are like mixes of songs on this album. For example, Pinball Wizard is on here. I think we're all familiar with that from the movie Tommy. Terrific performance by Elton John and band. The Bitch is Back new radio mix, which I heard is very good. Ducktail Jiver, Sick City. Side 2 of the second album, Cold Highway, Stinker, an extended version, and Snookeroo, demo, which again I understand is very good. So I'll be happy to be listening to this one. But again, this is also on a blue vinyl. So why don't we take this out and see how it compares to the translucent blue that we saw before and the baby blue from the Knack. Oh, you can see it already. Nice. A darker blue, but kind of a medium blue. Nice color. No marbling at all, so very nice. Happy to have found one more copy of that. One of the other sort of blue albums that I had wanted to get in the past, and I didn't, and I regretted it, of course, now, was Jimmy Buffett's latest album, and his last album that the name is escaping me right now, but that was also on blue vinyl, and unfortunately I didn't get it. Maybe someday I'll get lucky and pick it up. But anyway, so one last item from Record Store Day that I did not get on Record Store Day, and the reason I didn't get it is that the record store owner had told me that he ordered it, but it didn't come in. So when I was calling around to the record stores trying to find out about the Elton John album, I asked about this one as well. One of the record stores had a number of copies of it, but they said they would hold one for me anyway. And I went there, I picked it up. Kate Bush EP called Eat the Music. And this is a picture disc. And this fruit, if you're familiar with Kate Bush at all, I'm sure many of you are not, if you watch the video for Eat the Music, you'll understand this. The other side here is just plain white. And this has three songs. Eat the Music, which was going to be a single, but she released Rubber Band Girl instead. It has Lily and Big Stripey Lie. So, very happy to have Kate Bush to add to my collection. Love Kate Bush. I love most, if not all, of her albums. And that's it. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to get what you wanted for Record Store Day. And like I always say, stay well, friends. And remember, if the music strikes a chord, let it play.